Welcome to Mike's Harder After Hours, where we don't really have a topic. I'm Joe.
And I'm Colton.
We'd like to introduce you to our friend Don. Don, what do you do for a living?
I'm a carpenter by trade, but mostly a handyman now. Do a lot of apartment maintenance. Maintain over 700 apartments.
How old are you?
41.
Have you lived around here most of your life, some of your life?
Most of my life, all but 4 years. I moved to Tennessee four years ago.
We're in Tennessee.
Rogersville, Tennessee.
I thought it was Devil's Knob.
Yeah, that's Devil's Knob for sure.
It's on a road called Devil's Nose.
You've told me you had a lot of property down there. How much of it was farmable and how much of it was sleddable?
Sleddable.
So we had 56 acres and livable was probably 12.
Land down there's got to be cheap as shit.
We got it for a good deal, but that was right at the start of COVID. So
I'm kind of curious what you mean when you say livable. What is your
Traversable, because if everything's on a 45 degree grade or 45 degree angle, you ain't planting shit on it.
Yeah,
You
you'd have to
can't
dig
build
into
on
the
it.
side of it to get anything out of
we
it.
literally lived on the side of a mountain.
It would look like Japanese gardens. You'd have to dig like stair steps into the damn thing.
I mean, that'd be fucking cool though.
Except sledding in the wintertime would suck.
Speaking of Japanese gardens, I just want to give a quick shout out to our main podcast because we have almost 100 views, which means Joe's gonna have to tell his wife. And
True that.
looking at the analytics from it, just in the one podcast, we had somebody from Japan download it, which
Yes.
pretty cool.
Whoever from Japan downloaded that, you love guns too. I know you do.
Yeah, hit us up in the email at Mike's Harder Podcast at gmail.com.
Yes, please. And please translate it to English. I love your language. I love the symbols, but I don't understand that stuff.
Hell, for all we know, it could be somebody stationed over there.
Don't take away my sunshine.
I know there's a joke somewhere in here about nukes.
I saw one the other day. It was a meme that said part of Japan hit 112 degrees, the hottest on record, and it was the cartoon meme of the World War II guy that said, "Not true."
That's fucking funny. Today we had
Well, it's funny if you're not Japanese.
we had this meeting today. We were going through a fab cut list, and the lady fab.
Oh.
And the lady that does the purchasing goes, "Are those black? I could have sworn I had my hands on them today." And this is a meeting with my manager, the shop manager, and the purchaser and the project manager. And I just look at her and I go, "There's a joke somewhere in there." And she laughed, thankfully. I almost didn't. I didn't think it was gonna go over as well as it did. She and I were the only ones that laughed, though.
You know how to turn this wiener into a clock?
A clock?
Yeah.
Add an L to the cock?
Put two faces and hands on it. Put a face and two hands on it.
That's fucking funny.
Not as funny as it should have been. I fucked it up.
It was still pretty funny, to be fair.
So, Colton, did you get that picture about the ramen noodle?
Yeah, I
a
did, you
toilet?
fucking asshole.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's way worse than cooking in a sink.
Oh, dude, I told him when he fucking said something when I sat down. I was like, I would gladly eat an entire sink full of spaghetti rather than one bite of that ramen.
To anybody who hasn't listened to the Mike's Harder podcast first episode, we talk about cooking spaghetti in a sink. And I don't know if we can try to flash this photo at some point across the screen.
Yeah, I can add it.
we saw a video or a picture of a lady eating what looked to be cheap ramen out of a toilet.
Y'all are fucking nasty.
If you haven't heard the first podcast, go back and listen to it because that shit is nasty.
Well, it all stems from that fucking chef's reactions.
Yeah. I watched his new one today.
The one where he's trying to candy?
Oh, this one was just chocolate chef. Guy makes all kinds of crazy stuff out of chocolate. And I like chocolate when I get a sweet tooth, but he made it into a giant banana. So I hate bananas. I'm conflicted. I don't know if I'd do it or not. It really looked like a giant Dole banana.
Do you use white chocolate or do you use...
No, he actually paints it with confectionery paint.
Oh.
So it looked like I'm talking like 6-8 foot. It was,
Is that the one, the chef that makes the desserts, and he's always like, fuck this dude, his shit's always too perfect.
Yeah, he gave it like 1,000 out of 10. He said he gets tagged in every one of this guy's videos because everybody wants him to judge it. But he's
Right.
like, every once in a while the notifications blow up, so I have to look at it. And yeah, this one he gave the guy like 1,000 out of 10 or some crazy shit.
Of course he fucking did. Jesus Christ.
At first he was making BBC jokes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it's a big curved piece of brown.
Chocolate?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, is he making British Broadcasting Company emblem? Oh, I follow the predator poachers on X, right?
Yeah.
Last night they posted a post that they were confronting a elementary school teacher
Okay.
outside of his job. Today, I'm scrolling through, and the guy had to go pick his kids up, and they were going to go back to the guy's house to continue the confrontation. When he got there, the guy had already called the cops on himself. He was like, he self-reported, like, yeah, I'm a pervert. I did something fucked up. So they get there, and the wife's all acting weird and shit. And then the cops show up, and the cop's like, oh, yeah, he called us. He told on himself.
That's about as good as a guy driving them to the police station.
Like what happened right here in town. Shout out Skeeter Gene.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been spending way too much time looking at bike parts, and I've come to the conclusion.
At least you've given up the hobby of boy parts.
That's not funny.
Yeah,
It kind of is.
That's not even a little bit funny because
It
it's not
kind of
true.
is.
I mean, it's kind of funny because it's not true, but it's definitely
Shout
not
out
true.
Skeeter Gene.
You're a fucking idiot. But I've been spending way too much time looking at bike parts, and I've decided on a 60s chopper meets 2000s sporty look.
Okay.
So I found some. I'm gonna fucking spend way too much money on this goddamn bike. Some wheels that are black spoke.
You're changing wheels and everything.
Well, I was gonna change the rear wheel. I'm not gonna change just the rear wheel. Doesn't make any sense. Then they won't match.
Okay. All right, continue with your
Yeah,
story.
go on.
So, but there's a lot more of the spokes than I was looking for. Ones that look kind of like a 60 chopper kind of wheel-esque. They're not like the regular, like, I don't even know what they're called. There's just a lot of spokes, and they're all straight instead of being like crisscrossed. Maybe you know what that's called. I don't know. But and then I found those handlebars. And I really want to buy a TC Bros Springer front end because they're like $500. And I was like, $500 isn't bad.
But does it have the rocker at the bottom, or is it just a Springer?
No, there's a rocker. It's not as long as the Sugar Bear, but there is It looks like it's a 3 or 4 inch rocker. Now Joe's like, fuck, I might have to look this up.
Nope.
No, because if you look it up, you're gonna fucking want one.
No. I just wait till somebody else builds one.
And then
they'll buy it.
And then they're like, man, I really want to buy another vehicle.
I know the value of depreciation. So somebody spends, $25,000 putting something together, and I'm like, that's cool, man. I'll give you 15 for it.
I mean, I'm not gonna have that much in it, and I'm also never gonna.
No,
sell this
but you
fucking
understand
bike.
the principle of it.
No, I understand the principle.
I'm gonna ride it for 2 seasons, and somebody's gonna give me fucking a little bit of what I paid for it. Yeah, I'll take it.
I'm not getting rid of
You
this.
could put $10,000 into it
I'm not getting rid of this bike.
after 2 seasons.
Which is another reason this
I'd give
bike
you
is gonna
5.
cost me so fucking much. I told my grandpa I'd give him $2,000 for it. I was like, I'll let you make fucking $300 off me. I don't care. Because he was just gonna let me put it in my name. I was like, I just, that's not my thing. He's done enough for me already.
Just have him put it in my name.
Fuck off, Joe. I'm gonna build it.
Seriously, fucking put it in my name, and insurance be cheaper.
Nah, eat a dick. I can already see you after I get done with it. Like, hey man, how much you got in that? Oh yeah, I've about $4,000. Give you $2,500 for it.
I'll give you $500 high.
That's what I was thinking. Like, I'd give you $2,000 for
Yeah,
it.
$500 high all day long.
I'm not selling the fucking bike after I build it, Joe.
Says that until he rides it.
You're just gonna donate it to me?
Fuck off.
Says it until he rides it. And he's like, "Ooh, I don't like this no more." Hey Joe, you want to buy a bike?
We should talk him into a bolt-on rigid too.
I'm not no. I already have shocks picked out for it. Fuck off.
That's right. You're a big guy.
Yeah.
A rigid would hurt.
Dude, it already hurts because the fucking shocks are like worn out and bottomed out.
Sure, it's not because of the fucking suction
Eat
cup
a
dildo on the
dick.
seat.
Eat a dick.
I used to have a fear of speed bumps. I'm slowly getting over it.
You're so fucking dumb, bro. Oh my god.
I guess if you're going for that old school look, I mean, a rigid would be the way to go.
I'm not putting a fucking rigid.
Well, you run a soft tail, so it looks like a rigid.
I did. I mean, that's esque. Except I hate that fucking wheel or that tire. That tire looks like it should be on a fucking dirt bike track or some shit.
Fat balloon tire.
Yeah. I think I took a screenshot of the wheel. Maybe I didn't.
When my Uncle John and his best friend, John McCormick, got out of the Navy during Vietnam, they got dropped off in Florida. They got off the ship in Florida, and they had to wait for their paperwork to be passed through, so they were actually out of the Navy, right? Mm-hmm. When they got their paperwork and they got their paycheck, they went into a Harley dealership in Florida and bought brand fucking new Sportsters. You're talking in the days of what the fuck is the name of that goddamn movie? I had it a second ago.
Dazed and Confused? I don't fucking know.
Well, he is dazed and confused right now, but
Yeah, Dazed and Confused for sure. God damn it. I had it in my head a second ago. But they rode.
what era we're talking?
Oh, we're talking the end of Vietnam. We're talking early 70s probably.
I'm trying to think what movies.
Easy Rider. Easy Rider.
Oh, okay.
So they go into the Harley dealership and they buy 2 brand new Sportsters. So this is early 72. These would have been 900 irons probably. No, maybe not. Maybe even earlier than that. I think in 72 they still had irons. But they bought 2 brand new Harley Sportsters, and they lived in Idaho. And they were left off the ship in Florida. They drove up the East Coast, and then from what I've been told, they drove like south down into Texas, And then they drove over to the West Coast, and they drove up the West Coast and then back to Idaho. It took them like 3 months to get home.
Probably.
Family's probably like, where the fuck are these guys at?
If what I was told is correct, that is how that should happen. But before my uncle passed away, I was able to sit with him, and there was a actual Easy Rider, like the Stars and Stripes helmet, sitting on a shelf in his shop. He's like, "Oh yeah, we rode all over the place. We rode everywhere." You know, he's like, it didn't matter where we went. Nobody gave a shit.
Yeah.
That's the way to fucking do it, man.
Yeah.
Just fucking riding around.
His buddy Bill McCormick, when they were on the ship, they're in Vietnam, right?
Vietnam.
Well, they're in the Vietnam conflict. They're on a ship,
Right.
They were tasked with painting the smokestack. You know, it's this giant jutting up out of the ship. They were tasked with painting the smokestack, and so they're on this like drop scaffold down the side of the smokestack. And Bill McCormick thought it'd be a good idea to paint a giant peace sign on the side of this. Oh yeah.
I bet that didn't go over very well.
No, not so much.
These are kind of the wheels, the style.
Oh, you want fat spoke?
Yeah, fat spoke with like more of them.
Yeah.
It reminded me of what I saw when I was looking up 60s and 70s choppers.
You're looking at the wrong magazines, man.
Oh, what the fuck?
Probably.
What would be more 60s, 70s chopper-esque?
Why don't you just look at a couple of old episodes or magazines of Easy Rider?
Never heard of Easy Rider.
Well,
You've never heard. Oh my goodness.
I know why he's not looking at it, because he knows he's going to find fucking centerfolds of his mom in there.
You're
Probably.
a fucking idiot.
Probably. Yeah, you gotta look at the old Easy Riders.
Reminder to the listeners that this guy's like 20 years younger than I am, so he doesn't have any clue what any of this shit is.
How old are you, Colton?
25.
Yeah.
25.
So yeah, 20.
Well, I also just recently got
20
into
years
bikes.
younger than you are.
You know, it's not like I have tens of thousands of hours looking at, thinking about cars and trucks and things with four wheels. I have like 50 hours maybe thinking about what I want to do to this bike. I could build a car and know exactly what I want to do with it without putting any effort into thinking about it. I don't know anything about bikes though to know. I have to do a bunch of research on shit.
I don't know a whole lot about the bikes, but I know what I like.
All these are like raked out.
That was the style.
Yeah, I'm not fucking. That sounds really fucking expensive. I'm trying to go.
Sounds
like,
more dangerous than expensive. But
why
I
is
mean,
it dangerous?
Your turning
how
rate.
much more control do you have?
I'll see your turning radius is different. Your control's different.
Oh.
It's like jumping a pogo stick at 45 degrees.
Like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking.
I mean, they
about.
look
Yeah.
cool as shit. I'm not gonna lie. They look really fucking cool.
You know what you could buy me is a Harley Bad Boy. I mean,
Yeah, sure. Well, you know what? You could buy me a house.
okay.
This sounds like a fair trade. Dude, my fucking mic level. Every time I laugh, I see it fucking spike up through the red. I'm gonna have to do a bunch of fucking audio editing on my line.
I doubt it.
Blow a bunch of listeners' eardrums out. All those guys in Japan are gonna be like, "Ah, this guy too loud."
Dude, if they can
That
put
was
up,
really
if
racist.
they
I
can-
apologize
If
for
they
that.
can put up with their wives in Japan, they can put up with your fucking high pitched voice. Oh, you may love me. Oh yeah.
I found a seat too. It's not like the king and queen like we had talked about. The king and queen seat just looks like it's not wide enough for my ass.
I've seen public school buses that didn't have a big enough seat for your ass.
Eat a fucking cock.
There ain't enough cum wang sauce in that.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
no,
world.
there's plenty of wang sauce over here, buddy.
Only because you haven't got fucked in so long.
I've been celibate. I'm not gonna fuck anybody until I want to marry somebody.
I'm married. I ain't fucking nobody.
Yeah, you also haven't told her about a fucking podcast that you've been doing that has almost 100 fucking views.
Well, it hasn't hit 100 yet.
To be fair, you tried to tell her.
I don't think she'd listen anyway. I really don't. I think she'd be like, "Oh, that's sweet." Yeah.
Dude, we could fucking make this into something, and I still think that she'd be like, "Oh, cool." But yeah, so that's the kind of the plan. Which, the other reason why I want to do everything that I want to do to it is because I don't plan on getting it done until a year from now. I plan by next May, because the next 6 months is getting out of debt and putting some money in mutual funds. And then I'll have like $2,700 a month that I can buy bike parts with.
You need to spend part of that on a fleshlight.
I don't need a fucking fleshlight, Joe. My
Yeah,
fleshlight
well,
is right here. And for all my audio listeners, it's my fucking right hand.
Hear me out. If you put that in the tailpipe when the bike's already a little bit warmed
It doesn't
up,
have a
Oh.
tailpipe, Joe. It's got a dump. I
Yeah.
can't get that low. I got bad knees, motherfucker. Bad knees. Bad back. I would have to dump the bike again and then fuck it.
reminder to everybody listening, he's 20 years younger than me. If I want to fleshlight my bike, I could totally do it.
I couldn't. I'd get 2 strokes in and be like, yeah, my knees hurt.
Hey, they sell knee pads every day of the week.
Yeah, I'm good. If I have fucking knee pads hanging in my garage, everybody's going to think I suck dick.
Well, man.
Don't fucking do that. Don't make it sound like I'm fucking gay.
You're like the other guy that we know.
I'm not like that fucking idiot.
I'm not going to say his name, but, you know.
Oh yeah, that guy would get on his knees any day.
What are you doing over there, man?
I need some water.
Oh, shit. He's parched. He's going to die if he doesn't get some water.
All that salty anchovy dried my mouth out.
Oh, yes. By the way, highly recommend anchovy and pineapple.
Yeah, shout out Joe Rogan and Elon Musk as
Yeah.
if they're ever going to fucking hear this.
Ugh,
Because that shit was good.
gross.
Don tried it. He was not a fan.
I'm looking forward to reheating the leftovers in the break room tomorrow. Just to
I'm
They are
so
not-
glad I don't work with you.
They are not going to be fucking happy.
make it smell like all the ladies at work have problems. So why are we not laughing as much as we did the first show?
Well, you're not quite all the way through that drink.
Oh, we haven't touched any topics that get me wound up either.
Don, what's your favorite kind of gun brand?
Smith & Wesson.
Yeah? What is it about Smith & Wessons you like?
My very first gun was a SD9, and I've carried it with me every day at work.
Until it got lost in that logging accident in the woods.
No, I got lost in the river when I moved back from Tennessee.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Your trailer
Yeah.
went over into the Ohio River.
Yeah.
Must be some muskrats that are teaming up with the gophers.
But I tell you that gun that I carried every day of the week, working construction, is covered in sawdust all day.
Never had any problems.
It fired every round I put out of it. Never gave me a problem.
I'll bet whatever muskrat got that son-of-bitch is killing a whole bunch of carp.
Oh, it probably is.
See, he lost his to gophers.
Yeah, gopher stole my fucking
I lost
guns.
mine in a damn boating accident.
Yeah, that bridge in Cincinnati,
Treacherous.
crossing over to Kentucky. That bridge sucks. There's accidents there every day. Yep.
Speaking of which, did you see that Ohio and Kentucky are going to work on building a new bridge?
No, I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I don't watch the news, but
I'm kind of addicted.
you know I don't like the news.
Explain to us, Don, why you don't like the news. Come on, this is a great story. Come
It
on.
is a good story.
Tell us why you don't like the news.
How old was I? Probably 16 years old. I come home 11 o'clock at night, walk in the door, and you got to go through my kitchen to get in the living room. I was going for the bathroom, but as soon as I walked in the living room, there's my mom and dad, 11 o'clock news, having sex on the couch. I cannot watch the news ever again. I have been traumatized as a kid.
I can't imagine getting off to and tomorrow.
Hell, it might have been the weather. I don't know. My dad might have liked the weather lady. I don't know.
Joe, have you ever had a fantasy about someone while you're having sex with someone else?
A fantasy about somebody else.
Like you're having sex and you're thinking about fucking Jennifer Aniston.
I think while I was in high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I ever have. I've always been too caught up in the moment. Granted, I haven't had that much sex either.
I can't say that I have either, to be honest.
Yeah. I also don't think I've ever slept with anybody that I'm like, man, I'd really rather be somewhere else right now. You know what I mean?
I'm still kind of laughing about his parents banging out to the news because I could just hear the TV. This is the evening news. I'm Tom Brokenjaw.
Hey, at least it wasn't Paul Harvey.
Hey, maybe that's what got my dad off. I don't know.
Did they always have sex to the news?
I don't know.
Well, I didn't know if this was a recurring thing, if this happened ever again.
This is something I would bring up at Thanksgiving
Oh,
dinner.
for sure.
Like,
I would 100% be like, hey, so are you guys just having sex during the 11 o'clock news?
yeah, this is something now as an adult I would bring up at Thanksgiving dinner and be like, oh, by the way, you traumatized me when I was a child, and now I have questions. Was it his voice? Was it the weather lady? Was it just the fact that the fucking world was falling apart? I mean, oh shit, babe, we gotta procreate. Oh shit.
That ain't happened. Mom couldn't have any more.
Doesn't mean your dad can't try. I would bring it up.
I would have brought it up as well. But I also have a really weird relationship with my grandpa where, we're more like friends.
Don't get fucking weird, dude.
Oh, fuck off. You know how it is. We're more like friends than him being my grandpa.
I know.
Which didn't serve me too great, in high school. But
Didn't serve you real great in early adulthood either.
no. No, it took me until I stopped having sex to get my head out of my ass.
I'm gonna step in here and you can tell me to fuck off if you want to. But in reality, your grandpa coddled you
Oh, yeah.
to the point where all the trouble you got into, he was like, oh, you know what, no big deal.
Well, I mean, it wasn't no big deal. He bitched, but he
bitched, but he kept bailing your ass out.
Well, yeah.
The first time I got in fucking trouble, I didn't even call my fucking parents. Nope, fuck that.
Right.
Hell no. I don't want the fucking bitching, let alone the repercussions.
Yeah,
and
no,
I was
he
a
did.
fucking adult.
He definitely coddled me, and it definitely gave me that safety net that I always knew I could fall into. Which I still have that with bills, but I don't really have any bills that I can. I mean, I make $60,000 a year, and I have $200 a month worth of bills.
Nice flex.
Yeah, it is a fucking flex. I'm gonna fucking build this bike up.
I'd flex like that too if I lived with my grandparents.
It's pretty nice, not gonna lie. I don't really have anything to bitch about at this point in time.
Fuck, I'll flex. I got that much expendable cash too, and I own a fucking house. I got no bills.
Well, yeah. Well, my bills are just car insurance and phone bill, really.
Prostitution's gotten that much cheaper.
You're so fucking stupid. But yeah, so I'm gonna transition
other
to a
person-
different part of the fucking
If
conversation.
the other person was here, I would have said something.
But yeah, so that's why I'm gonna take the next 6 months, get money in mutual funds, and get the rest of my debt paid off, and then I have 6 months of all the expendable cash I can fucking put into my wheelbarrow to take to TC Bros and JP Cycle and whatever other places I can fucking think of.
Dennis Kirk.
What's Dennis Kirk? Is that like JP Cycle?
Yeah,
Okay.
kind of. I like Dennis Kirk for buying motorcycle parts.
God damn it! I don't need any more places to look at.
Like you could store your information in there, the garage is what they call it. Yeah. Yeah, I've got my 2 bikes and Joe's bike all stored in my garage. So if I got to shop for parts, I can look specifically for his bike or my bike.
Oh, I wanted to ask you. I've been looking for a complete harness that has longer controls wires, and I can't find any. They're all just extenders. What would be a good place to look for that?
I bought mine out of JMP.
Maybe that's another thing. There's fucking 50 pages worth of fucking parts for my bike, and
Now, keep in mind, when I did mine, I actually had a paper catalog. That shit doesn't exist anymore.
Well, I thought about just calling them and being like, "This is what I need," and I haven't been able to find it. And I'm like 30 pages into your fucking website already.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Longer or taller bars?
Well, it already has like mini apes on it, but whoever built it just spliced a bunch of wire to lengthen it. And I just wanted to, if I'm already gonna have it all apart, I'm just gonna replace the harness with one that has longer wires, so it's not spliced. I'm just afraid that it's gonna fucking short.
I'm gonna say Dennis Kirk because that's.
Right now, it sounds like you and I are making a lot of single rides this year because he'll be at home playing with his bike and not riding it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I know, but when I bring it out next year, that bitch is gonna look nice.
I mean, he could ride the other bike that's in the garage.
Yeah.
If you're talking about Dum Dum's bike, I'm good.
No, the Red Basket Bobber.
I'm good. I'm not.
Come on, man.
I'm not gonna be the red basket bobber. I'll take the year off of riding. To be completely honest with you, I'm still kind of fucking terrified about driving, let alone riding.
I'm hoping my bike will be back on the road this weekend.
Fucking.
So there might be a bike out there if Joe's willing to let you ride it, for you to ride.
Anything's possible.
Fucking.
I mean, it's possible that we actually made it to the moon. Not likely, but it's possible. Anything's possible.
I'm gonna probably pick my bike up tomorrow.
You've been eating your Wheaties.
Hey, I can pick that bike up.
Yeah, not
Off
with
the
your
ground.
not with your back the way it is.
Not right now, no. You're right. My back's fucked.
But no, fucking, I went to go pick up the pizza, and I get up to this stop sign, and there's a IKEA truck. Well, we both stop, and I'm about to go, and this car pulls up, and I'm just cautious at especially this four-way stop, but just four-way stops in general.
No.
And I stop. Well, the IKEA truck does not. He starts to go through, and this fucking car barely stops, and then goes in front of the truck. I thought he was going to get fucking hit by this IKEA truck. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, either people are that stupid. It was somebody from Michigan, too, because they went east, and I had to go east. But either people are just that stupid, or it's because they don't have insurance, or some dumb... I don't know what the fucking thing is, or they just don't care about getting into accidents.
Well, in Michigan, they've got...
No fault.
yeah, no fault insurance, so...
Yep.
Why the hell they give a fuck?
Still not trying to get hit by a fucking IKEA truck, even if it is only going 10 mile an hour.
So talking about accidents and motorcycles earlier, have either one of you guys heard... Well, you're not on TikTok, I know that, but...
Oh, fuck TikTok.
I don't know if you're on TikTok at all or not.
I have a TikTok because people send me TikToks, and it's easier to watch them, but...
So, I follow a lot of motorcycle stuff on TikTok, and the other day, somebody posted this video. There's this young female sitting in her car, and she's repeating to herself, "Watch out for motorcycles. Watch out for motorcycles." Why don't motorcycles watch out for me?
We do. The fuck?
She literally called out in her TikTok, "I'm going to make speed bumps out of motorcyclers because they don't watch out for me."
And people wonder why I carry half-inch ball bearings in my fork bag.
I carry spark plugs in my
spark plugs.
I carry spark plugs there.
Yeah, if you're too close to me, there goes your windshield. Sorry, not sorry. I mean,
Right, you don't know what anybody's
fault.
intention is. Then, you know, somebody starts coming up on you and you're going fucking 60. It's like, why are you going that fast coming up on me, first of all?
Well, not only that, but even at a stoplight, if you're on my back tire, it's going to rain marbles. Because if somebody comes squealing tires up behind you trying to stop and slams into you and you hit me, that's your fucking fault.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, it might fall back on the original person, but it's your fucking fault for not staying away from me.
Right.
So, yeah,
There's just too many fucking people just in general that don't know how to drive well and don't take the time to pay attention when they drive.
there's too many people that don't know how to drive at all.
Like I understand there is some motorcyclists that do a lot of stupid shit when they're riding.
Hey, I'll admit I've done stupid shit.
I have
I've done stupid shit.
What do you constitute as stupid shit? Because I don't feel like I've done anything stupid yet.
I've taken a passenger and didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, that's kind of stupid.
That's super
Yeah,
stupid.
that's very stupid because it's
Yeah, you come up to a stop and they try to put their feet down. You're gonna fall over at a stoplight
yep.
when they try to do that shit.
If their body's not moving with you through a curve, if they go opposite of you,
Oh yeah,
you can lay the bike down.
Really?
Yep.
yeah. If you're leaning into the curve and they're leaning against it, their body weight is now pushing down against the bike. You're going down.
Oh, it's pushing against the bike instead of against the tire.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I've done. I've also ridden with too many beers in me. That's dumb.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's a larger percent than I think that do dumb shit on their bikes. But as opposed to the amount of people that just want to go and enjoy a fucking ride, or just want to ride to work or whatever, and have to deal with people not paying attention, I feel like that is the larger class of people riding their bikes.
My biggest thing is like, you know, this person on TikTok, you know, saying bikers need to watch out for her. Well, no. You got to watch out for us because our stopping distance is a lot different than your stopping distance.
Right.
You have 4 brakes. We have 2.
Right.
Like, we can't stop as fast as a car can.
Seems like we could stop faster because there's less mass. It probably...
that would be correct. A bike stops a lot faster than a car.
I wonder if it's. I wonder what the difference would be with like a bagger.
Still,
It's still a lot less weight, I guess. Yeah.
the bike
Yeah.
stops faster than a car.
Okay. But even at that, that's still if you
But
you
if
see
you're doing-
something
if you're
and you
doing
have
si-
to slam on the brakes.
Okay. Yeah, a bike will stop faster, but if you're doing 60 mile an hour and you got to come to a sudden stop, you have to be able to control that bike so it doesn't lay down.
If we're
Am I right?
if we're taking out of the factor a bike crashing trying to stop fast, if we take that out of the equation, a bike just trying to stop. So you got a full bagger. Let's say we got an ultra classic doing 90 mile an hour, and a bike one car length behind it, and the bagger tries to stop first.
Right.
He's going to get rear-ended by the car. The car will not stop fast enough to not hit the bike.
Right. Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Is that's the biggest.
Four brakes or not. I mean, I don't give a shit if it's a fucking Tesla. I don't give a fuck if
All right,
it's
that
a
makes
fucking
sense. That
Honda
makes sense.
Accord. The bike is going to stop faster, even with a passenger on it. I mean, you can put a 400-pound woman on the back of that bike. It's still going to stop faster than any fucking car.
Well, but that's another thing that you have
Well,
to
that
watch
does
out
make
for
sense.
then.
'Cause you're talking weight differences, and because a car is a lot much heavier than a bike.
It's heavier than a bike, and you have more mass. I mean, the amount. Let's just talk about the amount of ground coverage it
Right.
takes. Right.
That's what I'm thinking. I was like,
A bagger could be almost the same length as a car, but a car takes up the whole damn lane.
yeah,
No, if a bike lays on the brakes and a car is one car length behind it, they're gonna get rear-ended.
yeah.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. Is that's another thing that you have to watch out for. You have to make sure that you're paying attention to how close somebody is to you, and watch in front of you to see to make sure that you see things in enough time to slow down without having to slam on the brakes. Because
I look 2 or 3 blocks ahead, as far ahead as I can see.
Yeah,
Right.
when I'm riding, it was kind of funny because we just did that big benefit ride a couple weeks ago, and first time the girlfriend's been on anything that big, and it was 80
That's
bikes.
what she said.
I am just a little guy, I'll admit it, but well, we had 80 bikes, and anytime I come up to an intersection, half mile before I'm at the intersection, my head is back and forth. I'm watching each side of that road before I even tell my blockers to go out.
yeah,
And she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm looking for any cross traffic that is coming to that intersection."
right.
Even on roads I know I don't have to stop. If I got the right of way, I'm constant.
Well, yeah, because too many people are playing with their fucking infotainment center or with their phone and not paying attention. All it takes is one person to fucking pull out in front of you guys, and you got 80 bikes fucking going down.
Driver's ed, they teach you left, right, left, and then you can proceed. When I'm on the bike, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
Right.
Even coming to a stop.
You fill in line perfectly.
I can
yeah.
hold the line, don't worry.
Oh, she's sneaking off. She's closing the door because she doesn't want to hear. She doesn't want us to hear a fart.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that I think a lot of people that haven't ridden a bike don't understand too. Because I didn't understand until I rode a bike how much you have to watch other people. If I'm in a car anymore, I watch pretty closely. But before I ever rode a bike, I'm just driving. Have you ever driven and you kind of wake up, not wake up, but you kind of wake up and you're like, fuck, how long have I not been paying attention to me driving? You know what I mean? You kind of zone out.
You get in that twilight zone, and
yeah.
I can honestly say no. I've never had that problem.
Oh, dude.
I've been riding a motorcycle since I was 14.
Well, that might be part of it too.
See, motorcycles, I don't go in the twilight. Driving a car?
No,
Like-
that's what I'm saying. I've been driving a motorcycle since I was 14. So
He's been paying more attention.
when I've been in a car, no. When I had a street car, I didn't even have a radio in it.
All right.
Because, I need one less distraction.
Yeah.
It's enough for me to drive this car. I don't need another distraction
Yeah, I can.
to keep my eyes off the road.
Right.
I've known you for 20 some years, and
Well, you remember when I had the 81? There
yeah,
was no radio in
there was no radio in them. even the cars you've owned that I've been in the car with, you had a radio. 9 times out of 10, that radio was off.
Yeah.
Except for the last 2 you just recently had.
Yeah, well, yeah. The Slocus.
Yeah.
Because I hit midlife crisis and I had to put system in something.
Yeah.
So I got some thumps, but most of the time that's turned down because I'm trying to pay attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've definitely been in like the twilight zone. It's like, fuck, how did I get here? How did I fucking not run a stop sign or some shit?
See, my Twilight Zone's not that bad. Like,
Well, I've never actually gone through like a stop sign or anything, but I'll be driving
That you
and not
know of.
Oh, I did have that once. No, it wasn't Twilight Zone. I fell asleep.
Oh, we were in a stop sign coming back from my mom's. I was in the middle of a conversation with him.
Yeah.
And we're cruising down County Road. And he's like, hey. And by that time, it was too fucking late. I'm running 55, 60 mile an hour. And I'm like, oh, well.
Well, it's just like it's not because I was in a twilight zone. It was just because I was going a different way home from work the one day. I was going like 70 mile an hour. And all of a sudden I hit this fucking bump. And I've gone this way before. And I'm like, there aren't any fucking bumps. It's the fucking crown of the road. I ran a fucking stop sign at fucking 127. Went over 127. And I'm like, that was a fuck of a bump.
Oh, shit, dude. When I was in the Ironworkers Union, I was going out to Davis Bessie. And it's Route 2 the whole way. And 6 o'clock in the morning, I'm going to work. Mm-hmm. I'm cruising Route 2. I fall asleep at the wheel.
Oh, shit.
I made it. Crossed all the bridges over the lake. After the bridge, there was one last curve. Well, apparently I missed the curve. I went off the road, into the field, went airborne, because I hit one of the side roads. I went airborne, took out the stop sign, landed in the field next to it, and that's when I woke up, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm like looking, there's no cars around
Dude,
me.
when I realized...
I fired that car back up, and I'm like, please, 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 fire, please. It fired right off. Back up on the road, and I get to work.
When I realized that I fucking blew a stop sign on 127 going 70 mile an hour, I almost never drive the speed limit. I never drive under the speed limit, and I never drive without music. I turned off the radio, and I was going 55 the rest of the way home because something was watching out for me. I don't know what, but something was watching out for me, and I don't want a fucking chance it not looking the next time. And ever since, I don't think I've gone faster than 60 because that scared the piss out of me.
Yeah, that day I went off the road. That scared the shit out of me.
I think if I did some shit like that, I would probably be like, I need to find a ride to work for a week because that would scare the fuck out of me.
It was a couple weeks after that is when I hit a deer on the way to work. No, it was more than a week. It was a couple months because I had a different car at that point.
My brother and I were moving me back across country from Idaho to Ohio. My rule was we only drive in daylight. We'll get up early in the morning, we'll drive all day, and then we'll park it. Because when you go through Utah, Wyoming, Nebraska. There are like elk and moose.
Mm-hmm.
We're driving through during the daylight, and ironically, everywhere there was a moose crossing sign, there was a carcass that had been hit by a semi. I was like, "Yeah, bro, I am not driving this shit at night. Fuck no.
No.
I don't want to hit a deer. You know,
Let alone a fucking moose.
yeah, let alone something the size of Ethan's mom." Yeah, everybody, that's funny only to us.
At least a fucking moose would let somebody come over and fix her fucking electrical so her house didn't burn down.
True story.
True story.
I still can't believe that shit. And for anybody that doesn't get the reference, listen to the first episode of Mike's Harder podcast, because there's an explanation that his mom, I assume, was getting fucked and didn't want them to come fix the electrical because of it.
Yeah, it was bad.
She had the Harlem Globetrotters over doing trick shots. Sad part is she'll probably listen to this at some point and burn my fucking house down. Gonna stay up with my insurance premiums. None of my outlets are loose at this time.
If Joe's house suddenly burns down in the next 6 months, someone find Ethan's mom.
Oh, I'm sure someone's gonna find Ethan's mom. Ain't gonna be because of an electrical issue.
Sure, detective, come on in. Would you like some pound cake?
I've heard that she's easier to find than the clitoris. So, I mean, there is that.
I wonder if your dog thinks to himself, man, my human is weird. He just sits around with his friends and they talk into these big black things that look kind of like my dick used to look like.
Well, you heard what I told Ethan on his way out.
I didn't.
He was making fun of the dog. He's like, "Oh, does that taste good?" I said, "Pet him, he'll let you taste it."
See, and it's funny because Ethan...
That was before he got here.
Oh.
It's funny because Ethan wouldn't be able to take his food. I've taken his fucking food, and he's just kind of like, "Hey, asshole, that's mine." But I would love to see Ethan take his fucking food.
Possibly. So what's everybody's plans for the rest of the week?
Work.
I'm going to go submit my CCW application tomorrow or Friday. And then I got to go to Holland
Are
tomorrow
you
night.
one of those fuckers?
What?
Those gun carrying?
You're a gun carrying nut.
Well, it's funny because I said something about the CCW.
Why are you getting a CCW? You lost your guns to what was it, a Gopher? Or...
Well,
Yeah, he lost his to a gopher.
I can always buy another gun as long as the gopher doesn't steal it.
It'll probably come steal another one.
Well, I'll have
The first one probably wasn't good enough.
Well,
Put it in the attic this time.
I'll have the permit in case I ever find that fucking gopher.
Put it in the attic this time. If anything, only the fucking squirrels will steal it.
Or the mice.
Oh, yeah. The fucking
You get
mice.
them little sneaky mice coming around.
Those goddamn 9mm mice are badass. You seen those? They look like lunkers.
I was telling not my boss, but the manager on the project, and he's like, "I have a CCW, me and my wife do," and he's like, "I'm carrying right now. You better be careful." I was like, "Are you really?" He's like, "No." He's like, "I haven't carried in like 5 years," and I'm like, "Okay." And he's like, "But now I don't need a CCW. Now there's constitutional carry in Ohio."
Oh, yeah. Yeah, let's get me... get me fucking started on
we
that
can't
bullshit.
get too fired up. We only got like 10 minutes left, 8 minutes left.
Seriously. Hey, folks, in Ohio, constitutional carry is not constitutional carry. You cannot carry in a fucking car without putting it in transport mode.
Yeah, well,
it is not the
I
same fucking thing.
I saved myself an argument because I knew I know how the guy is. I saved myself an
you sucked
argument.
his dick?
No, I saved myself an argument by not bringing up the fact that if you carry in your car, you still need the CCW. Because when I talked to the CCW instructor, he was like, "Well, it's better safe just to have the permit." He goes, "I've heard from cops that it is okay to carry in the car." He goes, "But I've also heard that it's not. And I don't want to get caught by one of the ones that it's not okay."
I've actually read the legislation. No, you in a car, you have to put it in fucking transport mode.
Well, then that's not constitutional carry.
No.
They're just
Like-
calling it that so they can be like, "Look, we gave you some of your rights back."
Vermont, yeah. Vermont, Arizona, those two states have it right. You call it constitutional carry. You can fucking carry as intended.
What about
you can,
Texas? Is Texas
no,
the same?
no. Texas is weird. Hell, until just recently, you couldn't carry anything but an antique fucking revolver.
Really?
Yeah, oh yeah, Texas is weird like that. But yeah, Vermont and Arizona, their constitutional carry is constitutional carry. You can carry it on your person, climb in a car, drive away. Ohio, no, you cannot. You have to put it in transport mode. So you have to go to your trunk, drop the magazine, unload the fucking pistol, put it in transport mode. Oh, and by the way, that could be considered inducing panic.
Right,
Yeah.
because now you have to take it off your person.
Yeah, and when you pull into fucking Walmart to go buy fucking jungle juice, now you're gonna open the trunk, pull a fucking gun out, put a magazine in the son of a bitch, and some fucking nog is gonna be like, "Oh, mom, he's got a gun!" And now we're in fucking trouble. You just induced panic.
Yeah, the whole idea seems like it's so they can say, "We gave you part of your rights back," and so they can be like, "Imagine the money we're gonna fucking make off these idiots."
Yeah.
My understanding is the only thing Ohio really changed is the wording because they were an open carry state.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong on that? They were an
No.
open carry state.
I open carried for a long time.
They're open carry. So now what they're saying is it's a constitutional carry. You can carry openly, but as soon as you get into a vehicle,
Yeah, now
are
when
now-
now when you're walking around, you can put it under your shirt. But if you climb into a car,
now you are concealing it.
yeah,
Which is the whole premise of constitutional carry.
yeah. So if you're gonna carry, get a fucking permit. Stop being a bitch. Just get a fucking permit. Oh, and maybe one of our topics should be, are you allowed to carry more than one? And I might see if Tracy will come in on this one with us.
That would be cool.
Because I've heard conflicting. Because it does not have an S on our permit, it does not say concealed carry pistols. Some police say, if I carry you catching a backup gun, you're going to jail. And some prosecutors say, if you have more than one, you're violating the law. But then
How can they leave it up to a gray area?
that's what I'm saying. Maybe we need to see if we can't get maybe Tracy to come clarify. He's not a prosecuting attorney, but he is a former sheriff's deputy. Maybe we can get his take on it. We'll just have to not be. I mean, we were pretty good tonight. You know?
Yeah.
Way better than the last.
All right, folks. Our time is about up. We hope that you guys enjoyed this, but if you didn't, eat a dick.
Hell, put it in a shell. Put it in a bun. Call it a hot dogs.
Throw some ramen in a toilet.
Thanks for listening to the first episode of Mike's Harder After Hours. See you guys later.